So we was talking about mainly a lot of the pros of why you should date for fun. Like, what's some of the cons? Because obviously, and when does a person pick to choose which one? Because of course everyone's like, okay, you're young. They assume you should be dating for fun, and they assume when you get older, like you should be, in a relationship. Like some girl told me, she's like, oh, my mom told me that a guy who's not married by 30, something wrong with him, whatever. And I'm just like, well, you also the same age as me, and you ain't got no family. So it's like, so my thing is like, is there something wrong with you too? Because at the same time, it's like, is there a limit on when you should take, like, what period you go through these phases? Because you might have came out of high school and dated for fun quick and ain't got into something serious, and then you don't got out of that serious. Now later in life that you date more so for fun, and then you maybe get back into it again. So my thing is like, I guess I would think logically is like, if you were to date for fun, you would have to have, I don't know, when do you hit the point when you're like, okay, let me have an intention now.
Boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
Girl from Portland, Oregon, you already know.
When you deal with so much, it's easy to feel like this is all there is.
A man is somebody who admits that they're wrong and builds on that and grows from that.
Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack addict. Drunk to his podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
I'm your other host, Jarrell from the City of Roses, y'all.
And another one, we got my baby girl. My baby girl.
Welcome.
My rib, my spine. We got my beautiful fiance, Miss Faith, in the building.
Hi everyone, I'm doing good. Thank you.
What we talking about today, bro?
All right, the question of the day is, should you date for fun? That's it.
Let's ask you first. Let's ask the lady of the eye.
Take a cheers to that.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely think it's something that needs to be done by everyone.
Why do you think that is?
Because I feel like that's how you not only get to know yourself, but whoever you're dating as well. And as well, yeah. You get to know yourself. I feel like you get to know yourself on a different level dating for fun. So almost for a selfish reason.
Okay. Should there be a level of it? Like when it's too far for a woman? Like, you done dated too much?
What do you mean?
Should there be a level?
Hold that question.
Okay.
We'll just cut it back.
Okay. Should there be a level of like how much dating is like healthy, and then at what point is it like you're doing too much for a woman specifically?
Specifically, I would say no, because if I would ask that question right back to you, you would say no as well. And I feel like there shouldn't be any double standards.
I think that's food. Not honestly, let me say, yeah, I think it's foolish because
we're not talking about sex. We're just talking about dating.
Oh, well, that's different. But what I was saying was foolish was the idea of double standards being a bad thing, because double standards are both ways. Like, a lot of times when people look at double standards like they're negative, they completely ignore all of the positive double standards they have. They'll be like, oh, a dude gotta do this for me, he gotta do this for me, he gotta do this for me, but I don't want any of these double standards. It's like, all of those you just named were double standard benefits. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to say the ideal is foolish, but I'm saying the idea that there should be no double standards. I believe there should be double standards because of other reasons too. Like, especially when you talk about like, a woman can get pregnant. Like, a dude can impregnate a girl for sure. And then both of them are serious, but like, there's a lot more risk that comes when you're the woman receiving the baby as opposed to the dude giving it, because he could just be a piece of shit dude, like, oh, well, whatever, I'm gone. You have to either raise or abort that baby. There's a lot more responsibility. So should there be the same level of maturity and accountability that comes with that I'm gonna take this seriously? Absolutely. But we gotta be realistic, it's not. So as a woman, you should hold yourself a little more accountable, in my opinion.
What do you think, Jarrell?
What do you think, bro?
Go back to the premise of that.
All right, let's go back to the original question. Just let you go from there because I got a little off.
Okay.
But
yeah, because that's why I was like, you want me to answer the main one or the kind of like what
should you date a lot?
I think you should. I think it's important to date a lot because I think it's important to learn what you like. You know what I mean? I think it's important to experience different type of people and experience just different type of love lives and stuff, just so you know what's out there and what the dating scene is like. That way you can learn, you know, how to date, because it's a game. You know what I mean? It's a game, and you gotta learn how to play the game. So you gotta learn what works for some women doesn't work for other women. You know, you have to learn. You learn through failure, even like getting turned down. Like, you know, maybe you was in a relationship dating a woman and maybe you was too aggressive or something, and she told you the reason she stopped talking to you was because of this, that, and the third. And, you know, that is something that you take on to the next person that you date, you know, as almost like a stripe. Is okay, I learned that, you know, women appreciate when you do this more, so this next person I would date, I'm gonna try to do this more, you know. And I know me, by the time I actually find a woman that I'm actually like trying to settle down with, like by then I should already know exactly how to treat a woman, you know, and exactly like what I need to do just by, you know, the way I dated, you know, all the way up until that point, and, you know, all the shit that I learned and whatnot. So
let's make it a little more spicy, because when you talk about dating, I actually agree with both of you. Like, you should go on a lot of dates to be able to see who you like, who you don't. Let's get to the fucking. Get into the fucking. Is there a limit of how much fucking a girl should do?
A girl specifically?
Yeah. And then, matter of fact, we'll start with the dude. Do you think there's a limit of how much fucking a dude should do?
For a dude? I'm gonna just go off of like society, and I'm gonna put it as,
now do your own personal opinion.
I don't look at a man as like less than if he's slept with a lot of women, but I don't know if that's just how society has wired my brain. So he's saying vice versa, but a lot of people, like, you feel that way about women?
Yeah.
Okay.
You feel that way about women?
But a lot of people don't feel that way.
Right. My thing is just don't be burnt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, if you don't get burnt, then my thing is you done made it to the battlefield. So it's like you showing your coochie's intact. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got nothing wrong down there. I don't see what the big deal is. Because some people believe in the super energy ties and all that stuff. And I think you can have a tie with somebody through sex, but I think that's while you're fucking them consistently. Because but I don't believe in. I had sex with a girl when I was 17. Well, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18. But I don't believe that a girl I had sex when I was 18 still affects my energy today. Like, I don't believe that. Some people kind of like that, so they're like, oh, I don't want my person to have a lot of bodies because they carry that energy or whatever. And I'm like, maybe they're just running around to these people like all the time and they don't know what they want type stuff. But, you know, so I don't really look at it as a big deal. Long as it's like, long as you don't have like a smut to your name, to where your name is like being disrespected publicly, or if there ain't something right down there. Like, I don't really give things a big deal.
I guess my whole standpoint is I shouldn't know about it. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't know about it?
I shouldn't know. You should not have enough bodies where it get back to me.
So you don't want to know if so you wouldn't want to know if a girl that you starting to date or starting to
I'm saying if we're going super serious. Like, obviously, because first off, I don't care. But this is why. One, I think it's better if they really don't have a lot of bodies. But two, I think is way better if they do, they don't tell you, because there's a lot of trauma that comes with a lot of bodies, right? So it is a little different between men and women, though. It's like, if I've slept with a large amount of women, I pursued these women, it was me chasing them, it was a lot of work from my end to get this end goal, and I had a lot of control in the situation. When you reverse it, talk about a woman, 90% of the time, they were pursued. So it's like, if somebody pursued them to fuck, like, that was the intention, like, I'm on your ass because I'm trying to fuck, and then we fuck, and then we don't work out, and that's happened a lot of times. Usually the way it ended wasn't always graceful. So the trauma that comes from feeling used tends to get put in the relationship where it's like, oh man, I feel like this, but really you feel like that because a nigga 13 niggas ago did you this way. Right. You know what I mean? So because of that, I'm dealing with this attitude, or I'm dealing with you breaking down when I leave, when I go out with the homies because of this, and really you just feel like I'm about to do. But
I'm an advocate for the women on this one.
Okay, let's do it.
And say, like, how do you know that she smashed a lot of people she was trying to be in a relationship with? How do you know that she just wasn't like, hey, I'm trying to get it in?
See, because hopefully whoever you dealing with was intentional. Like I do understand like having fun, and I'm cool with that. But I know that once you've had a certain level of fun, it's harder to calm down because it's cool. It's easy to calm down for a while, but when you talk about long term, it's hard because you always like, I kind of want to do something, because I be like that sometimes. Like, man, I kind of want to just do something wild, and I wouldn't want that in a female partner where you have that worry in the back of your head, where it's just like, not that she gonna cheat, but just that she's not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm afraid she gonna run out and fuck the next nigga. It's like, I'm afraid she's not gonna be as happy as she should be due to having so many experiences. And it's so easy as a woman, like, because I've dealt with so many women who like, oh, I done been on 20 yachts. I done been flown out to this place, that place. I done experienced this, and this. And it's like, that's cool, nothing against it. But now, once you're in a serious relationship, obviously you want to like far exceed whatever she's experienced. But no matter what you do, there's always going to be some level of like, I know it could be better, or I know there's a possibility. I know, and it's just not, in my opinion, it's not as like natural. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, this the best shit in the world. It's like, this the best shit for right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was, or if I did.
So basically, the female in your situation, what you're explaining, the female has seen too much.
I think it's just experiences.
They'll experience too much. And in the dynamic of a relationship, if you have two people who have experienced too much, you know, that might not work.
I think it's kind of opposite, because I feel like the more a man experiences, the more he realizes it's all the same, and the more he appreciates one thing. Whereas with the woman, I feel like the more she experiences, once she does gain that same knowledge and she appreciates, but I feel like it's harder to be as satisfied. It's like, if you've eaten at all of the 5-star restaurants, and then I take you to a 5-star restaurant, it's just a restaurant. It is nothing special about it. But if one girl only ate at 2 or 3 5-star restaurants, and then I take her to Chops, or I take her to Hell's Kitchen or something, she's like, oh my God, this is, and over time, we're gonna go to every restaurant. So we're gonna have all these same experiences, but now you get to experience it with me. So it's more special, and it's just locking us more in. And like for a dude, if he's taking 100 girls to all these restaurants, he's gonna know when I take you, the experience I have with you is so much better than all these other girls, so I can take this more serious. But if a dude only took 3 girls to 3 different restaurants, he always gonna be like, man, like, yeah, I really could be, because a lot of you need, in my opinion, you need, as a man, you need to like go conquer, and then that will calm you down, because you're like, okay, like I done seen this shit 100 times, like it's the same shit every time. This shit is different. I want this because it's real. But I feel like for women, it's like, if you done seen 100, I feel like it's a little different on the, I believe you see like this is real, but at the same time you always gonna be like, but I could, because we both gonna think about it the same way, but the access is different. Because as a woman, you can always be like, it's easier. You can just walk out. If you walk out the door right now and just yell like, I'm trying to fuck, it'll be a nigga sprinting down the street to see what you are, and then when you see you, he for sure like, man, look, hey, whatever. Like, if I do the same thing, I'm going to jail. So it's like, it don't matter how cool or how player or how experienced, whatever, it takes a lot more work. So because it's so easy for women You don't want a woman who's gonna be yearning after like a dude. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So we was talking about mainly a lot of the pros of you know why you should date for fun. Like, what's some of the cons? Because obviously, and when does a person pick to choose which one? Because of course everyone's like, okay, you're young. They assume you should be dating for fun, and they assume when you get older, like you should be, in a relationship. Like some girl told me, she's like, oh, my mom told me that a guy who's not married by 30, something wrong with him, whatever. And I'm just like, well, you also the same age as me, and you ain't got no family. So it's like, so my thing is like, is there something wrong with you too? Because at the same time, it's like, is there a limit on when you should take, like, what period you go through these phases? Because you might have came out of high school and dated for fun quick and ain't gotten into something serious, and then you don't got out of that serious. Now later in life that you date more so for fun, and then you maybe get back into it again. So my thing is like, I guess I would think logically is like, if you were to date for fun, you would have to have, I don't know, when do you hit the point when you're like, okay, let me have an intention now?
I think everybody.
Like, when do you reach that point? Like, is it like a self-taught thing where you're like, all right, I don't have my fun. Let me try to find something serious. Like, where does the inspiration? Because my thing is at the same time is like, if you having fun all the time, what's gonna make you want to do the hard part? Because if I'm a dude, I'm getting money, I look good, I'm having my way with women, and this is me speaking my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm having my way and the girl's giving me what I want, why would I need to get in a relationship? Like, if you're giving me everything that I feel like I need,
right?
And most women I date are providing me the things I need, while even if I am messing with them temporarily for whatever that time period is. At what point do I feel like I need to start dating with intention, other than the fact of maybe kids or something? Because I feel like kids are like families are really the only thing that pushes one person to really feel like they need to settle down, because you're like, well, I guess I should settle down because I want to have kids with one person, I can't just have a kid with a random person, so let me choose to pick this one person.
I think that's a multifaceted question. Like that's a good point though. And first, let me reiterate, I think women should date a lot. Like OD, I'm saying I don't think they should fuck everybody they date. Right. So that when they're dating the right person, they're like, okay, this has all the qualities, I'm gonna give this nigga the pussy. You get what I'm saying? Because like, I've seen this, and this. I've seen all of this. This ain't really shit. This is a good person. All right, I'm gonna take it serious. And I think the same with dudes. Like, you do need to date a lot of women so you can see when something is worth investing in. And it does get really easy to see, like, okay, this girl's different. She got her shit together. She don't need me. And not even talking about financially, just like emotionally, mentally. This isn't somebody who's looking for somebody to
come fix them
temporarily and like distract them from their bullshit of life. Like, I'm gonna fuck the depression out of you or whatever. Like, no, I'm like, I have my 5-year plan. Like, they used to bother me. I go on dates and ask like, what do you want to be in 5 years? And like, nobody will have a plan. And it's like, that's cool. Also, because that's a gap you can fill as a man, but that's like okay, let me see if you have any kind of plans. Like, okay, where you gonna live next year? What you trying to do if y'all young, you in school? Like, what are you sure this the area you want? Like, asking questions where it's like, do you think about the future? If they don't think about the future at all, like at all, either this is a super quality woman who just doesn't do this, and this is like a gap I can feel, I can help you start planning this way, or this is somebody I don't need to take seriously, like this needs to be fun. And it's like, the more you date, the more aware you are of where people are. And the more you aware you are of where people are, you learn really quickly how deep of a priority to make them. It's like, okay, this girl is beautiful, she got a great job, but the trauma from her past is really bad. Am I ready to deal with all of this and what comes with it to invest? Because maybe it's worth it. Because it's not like if you fuck a lot of people, you're not worth it. I'm saying you have to pick your work, right? And that's what dating is supposed to be. It's like, is this the kind of work I want, or is this too much? If it's too much, then we can just have fun with it. If it's not too much, then I want to invest in it and take it serious. And another thing, we don't take the family aspect part of it serious enough, because like you were saying, like, when do you cut it off? I completely understand that, because if you having your way, it's like, even if I know this girl's perfect, I have to give something up to really invest in just it. It's like a stock. If I have 100 stocks and they all performing pretty well, but I think this is the best stock that's gonna perform the best over a long period of time, the most logical thing is to put everything into this one. But you want to diversify your portfolio. You're like, man, but when I have all of these, I cut down my risk. Like, it's so many benefits to having a lot. But a wise man is going to invest in the one thing he knows that's going to benefit him the most, and also the people around him. So I feel like once you grow to the age of, man, you know, I want to be a father, I want to have a partner in whatever business avenues you're in. It's like, I want somebody who I can run these ideas by. Because, you know, you can talk to mentors and your friends, and you should go have a line, but you should always have an ace in the hole of, just, am I tripping? When I make this super simple, is this smart or is it dumb? You know what I mean?
What you think, Faith? How you feel about the dating for fun? You think it's kind of just put you down the wrong path of, you know, finding, you know, a serious relationship that's functional?
I think all in all, for women, it like, and this may sound like, I don't know how it may sound, but it's great practice. It's great practice to, like, for you to get out there on a date, for you to learn how to get to know people. Because if you just have a woman that's just at home, she just gets set up on dates, you know, or she's just not trying, like, you know, it can kind of, to me, I mean, depending on the woman, you might come off kind of weird if just going out on a brand new date once a year. But like, if you're actually trying to date and just get to, apart from calling it dating, just getting to know people, like that can just like build your confidence, that could build your character, that could just help you in a lot of different avenues. So I feel like it's great to go on dates, and like you said, I think it's great to go on just dates, and you know, if things happen, that's fine, but like, not every day has to be sexual, you know, not every day has to turn into sex. So I feel like just going on dates and having it be a time that you're just like, okay, I'm going out to get to know somebody. And if it works out, if I like this person, great. But if not, like, it's not no pressure. Like, I'm not going out to find a significant other or a boyfriend. Like, that's not my intent. But like, if I like this person, this turns into something great.
I like how you said like building like the courage of building character, because I think like it takes practice to be able to, I feel like, to stand on your truth in dating too, because you know, there's a lot of people who date who, you know, who if they find it hard to say what they really want, or to put their foot down on certain things. So I think it takes you to be able to date and to be able to build that courage to be able to stand somebody in their face and, you know, tell them what you really demand, and tell them, like, you know, like what you really about, and actually be able to, you know, take the reaction from someone and be able to learn how to handle, you know, the consequences that come from that. Like, because when you date people, you might tell somebody, it's like, let's say I'm a polygamist. Like, if I meet, if I'm kind of shy about it, I'm never gonna meet a woman who's into that, you know, because I'm gonna be like I'm you know, I'm monogamous, blah blah blah, and you're kind of like dating, but you kind of like don't really want to tell them like how you feel, because you know it's going to eliminate a lot of prospects in your dating thing, and that's what you don't want, because it makes it harder, or you lose a person that you want. So same with a woman. She might have like a certain standard of a man that she wants financially, but you know, she's not like comfortable like really who she is and really what her standards are, and she doesn't date often. She may not have grown that type of confidence to really just be like, look nigga, you gotta have a job, like, you know, or whatever, obviously, you know, but like,
and the poise to know how to
in a respectful way, you know, and to get it across, and even learn how to ask questions, because some people they aren't really comfortable talking about themselves, you know. So going on a date, you might go out and you might not be used to talking about yourself. You might not be used to sharing your secrets or the things that you want with somebody. So it could be, you know, a super vulnerable experience, you know, like how you said, like getting to actually know people, getting in their minds, and actually like having those talks for hours. Like a lot of people have never had those before. A lot of people, you know, and if you don't get out there and date different type of people, like you probably not gonna come across too many people, like, you know, who are really gonna get you to open up like that.
And specifically with dating, that's what's beautiful about it. It's like an open opportunity for you to experience yourself too. Like a lot of people look at it like, I'm here to experience this other person. It's like, I'm also here to develop myself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I ask certain questions, what type of reaction do I get? Is this something I want to try again on the next day? And it's like a lot of people look at like dating, like the reason why I say everybody should date a lot is because you're learning about yourself through dates a lot of times. It's like when you deal with people and you have an experience, because that's what a date is creating an experience. You have an experience with this person, either it feels good or bad, whatever, but you're gonna know more about you if you did it correctly.
Right.
Like if I really took somebody out, I planned a date based on what they like, what we've spoken about, I've curated an experience where they feel special. At the end of that, it's not just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna know something about me. I'm gonna know, do I really understand what women want? Do I really know how to talk to somebody? Do I know how to make somebody feel comfortable?
Right.
Do I know how to create an environment where they can trust me?
Right.
Am I too aggressive? Am I too laid back? And from all of that,
Or am I really interested in this person?
exactly. Or am I just trying to get something?
Right.
And from that, you will learn a lot about yourself, even the dark shit we don't like talking about. Like you'll learn, like, you know what, I just want to fuck this person. And you really will learn to be okay with certain shit. Like I know, and you'll learn how to say it in a way where I've been on enough dates. I know if I say I'm just trying to fuck, you're not gonna handle that well. But I know, hey, look, I'm just trying to experience you.
Right.
I just want to see if this can be something or not. That's saying the same thing,
Right.
but it's presented in a way where
it's like a job interview.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it, like you said, like you teach you about yourself, because if you with the right person, she's, you know, holding her own, or he's holding his own in the sense of their presence and in the date, like they should be asking you the right questions the same way, like, which is why I like when I talk about like business adventures I have, if somebody like you asks me like deep questions about it, it makes me get back to the drawing board and reconsider everything I'm doing, and make me like reiterate, like, is this the right way of doing this, or is this how I really want to run my brand, or is this really how I want to run my business? So when you date somebody asks you, like, you know, how do you feel about if a man did this or that, and they may not have been asked that question before, you know, so now it gets them to really think about themselves and think like, could I see myself in this type of experience or this situation? And, you know, and the only way to kind of know that is by going out and dating and meeting people that's challenge you to grow, or you know, kind of pulling out that information out of you.
Like one more thing, like I feel like as a man, when you learn how to ask better questions, you get better answers, and you know where to put people so fast. Like if you go on the first date as a man and you say, how can we build together? That's gonna lead to a completely different conversation to like, do you feel like a man should pay all the rent? You can work your way up to like whatever type of, no conversation is bad when it's an open and free environment where y'all both trust each other, whatever, but you wanna start off with trying to understand where their mind is. If I say, how can we build together? Like, look, I'm really enjoying time with you. Like, this has been fun and I want more of it. How can we build together? Because I'm thinking long term with you. How can we build together? That's the type of question where their answer will let you know where they really are, whether they actually like you, with like so many ways. And from there, you can build and like start to develop with this person and move from there. A lot of times we just like, we're so A and B, and it's like, it's not even creating a real experience where this person is gonna leave this like, wow, I missed this person already. I missed the conversation. I missed it. It's just like,
oh, another date.
Yeah. And that's why people should date a lot, because when you do experience some shit that's different, you take it more serious. You like, this is one of them ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, as a man, you should try to be one of them ones. Like, do it enough till you one of them ones.
We're gonna end that note, man. Be one of them ones, man. One of them ones, not the two.
On me. Why not be great?
Appreciate y'all tapping in, Joint Tours Podcast. Another fantastic episode, if I say so myself. Thanks to our special guest, Faith.
Miss Faith, my baby.
So make sure y'all follow us on all social media. Faith, when you tell them where you can find you.
Monday Looks on Instagram. That's all I got, actually.
Right. And that's not an invite to shoot your shot, cuz.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you, but.
What you want to do?
Joint Tours Podcast, all social media platforms. Shout out to the family.